Hi folks, Loopiq here, playing games once again. Today I'm playing a game that you might not have heard of. It's called The Last Blade 2. It's one of the good old 2D fighting games that used to be, that still is, on the Neo Geo. And if you're thinking to yourself, the what, Lewis? The Neo Geo? Are you just making up words now? Then no, I'm not making up words right now. The Neo Geo used to be, and still is, a console that was out around the same time as the Super Nintendo and the Mega Drive. It was an amazing console. However, it was extremely expensive, so it turned out to be somewhat less popular than Nintendo and Sega's alternatives of the day. And as you can see at the start of the game, as with most, if not probably all, Neo Geo games, it gave you a little how to play the game and a few little tips at the start, which is all good fun. Some sage advice here. Hit them in the face with your sword as much as possible. This game, The Last Blade, contains some of my favourite characters in any game, among them being Hibuki, this girl here, and Kojiro, who's also this girl. Isn't she awesome? Spot of confusion as to Kojiro's gender. There is an androgyny issue going on here. Kojiro in The Last Blade 1 is a guy, and in The Last Blade 2 appears to be a girl. But I can explain this later on. So here we are, Kojiro and Hibuki, two of my favourite fighting game characters of all time. I like them. I like that back in this day we had some female characters in computer games that weren't just scantily clad with balloon tits for the 14-year-old boys, you know. I like to see girls in computer games dressed like they're people who know what they're doing, and these girls, you know, they're dressed like they're, you know, martial artists in their martial arts garb, which is awesome. It's all very respectable. I like to play as these characters. And there's lots of little details that I love about Hibuki in general, but a lot of the characters in The Last Blade. You know, she's wearing these kind of fingerless gloves, and she has these shinobi tabby type sandals and things like this. It's very, very good attention to detail. Okay, so next up it's Kojiro versus Zantetsu at the Village of Twilight. Crimson, will it be the sky or you? Neither, actually. It's going to be Zantetsu covered in blood after I'm done with him. Because I'm going to chop him up with my sword. And if he blocks my sword, then I'm going to throw him on the floor. Zantetsu, also a very fun character to play, with his two little dagger type blades there. His massive mushroom hat. He's quite a fast, agile kind of character when he's not getting the hell beaten out of him. He has some fun dashing moves and some nice kind of DP spinning anti-air type things. There isn't actually a character that I dislike in this game, which is great, much like Street Fighter 2 in that regard. I don't believe there's a random button on this game, but if there was, I'd be happy to press it all the time, because I wouldn't mind. You could put me as any character in this game. They're all really fun to play, because it's a good game. Okay, and you might be thinking, "Oh, Lewis, that's very opinionated of you," and yeah, you know, in many ways you're absolutely right. It is my opinion that this is a good game, but at least, you know, I'm positively opinionated. I'm not berating or criticising other games. It's not necessary to say that something else is worse than this in order for me to appreciate this game. You know, all I'm saying is look at this game. Look how great it is. It's awesome. Everybody's got swords and weapons and things, and you get to murk each other with your control pads. So what more could you ask for? Okay, so it's Potter Town, the christening festival. Elephants is the name. And we're fighting a dude called Juzo, or Juzo, Not sure how to pronounce that. Sorry, Japanese people out there that may be watching if I've completely mispronounced that name. Juzo Kanzaki, I believe his full handle is. The character names are very difficult to remember in this game. They have very Japanese names, and I think that could largely be the reason why this game isn't really all that famous. I mean, it's a very fun game. It looks very good. It's every bit as fun to play as Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, in my opinion. But it's not a very famous game. And I think one of the reasons for that is that nobody can remember any of the names of the characters. They don't really relate to the names of the characters. You know, it's okay having the occasional Japanese name, you know, having Hibuki or something like this, but you know, why not call Juzo something like Jack? You know, just something normal, and then people will relate to him a bit more. They'll be like, oh yeah, I know a guy called Jack. Yeah, he's not really anything like that guy, but you know, at least I can remember the name. And then when people ask me, you know, what character do you like to play on The Last Blade, I can say I like playing as Jack. You know, I'm a Jack player. You should face my Jack. So next up, to add to our list of crazy foreign names, we have Washizuka. I do like this stage. I like the flames. I like the way that this whole game is drawn, really. It's very anime. If you'll allow me to use that word as an adjective. And he's quite interesting, actually, Washizuka. These two in combination are quite interesting. They both have very similar moves, but it's the inputs that are different. So Kojiro has Ryu Ken type inputs, like quarter circles and Dragon Punch type inputs. And Washizuka has the same moves, but he's a charge character, so he has like back, forward punch, or down, up, and punch. And I appreciate this. It pleases me. It's catering to the player. If you like being a charge character, then you can be Washizuka, and if you want to play like Ryu, then you can be Kojiro. And ultimately you're pulling off the same moves. But it's not like the developers did this to cut corners or anything. It's a 2D game, so they had to draw every frame of everybody, and they had to redraw Washizuka doing all of the things that they drew Kojiro doing. And personally, I have no preference between playing as a charge character or a Ryu type character, but I like playing as Kojiro because she's a girl, and she has a massive sword, and she knows how to use it, and she's awesome. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Lewis, Kojiro's saying that he's a lucky guy. Yeah, why would he say I'm one lucky guy if this character is a girl? Is it just a bad translation? Or are you just wrong, Lewis? Well, the answer is neither. There is some confusion around the androgyny of Kojiro, and I feel like maybe I should settle the score right now. I think that needs to be done. So in The Last Blade 1, there is a character called Kojiro Sedana, and Kojiro Sedana is male. He is a man. He's not a male man, he's just a man. Well, he is a male man, but he doesn't deliver mail. Anyway, at some point at the end of The Last Blade 1, or between The Last Blade 1 and The Last Blade 2, Kojiro Sedana dies. He snuffs it, right? Doesn't matter why, he's dead now. And in his stead, he is replaced with this character, whose real name is Kaori Sedana. And she is impersonating Kojiro because he was the captain of some clan, and if the clan discovers that Kojiro is dead, then they will lose their morale and everything will go to pot. So I'm actually playing as a woman in drag right now, who's, you know, murdering an old fisherman. But that's, you know, how I like to spend my time, you know, dodging fishing rods, dodging turtles, and murdering fishermen as a woman in drag. Okay, so this is our first sub-boss, our first unselectable character. His name is Kagami. At the edge of the battlefield, a flash of futility. Futility? Does futility come in flashes? I'm a bit confused. So if you're thinking about playing The Last Blade, you can see at the bottom we have a little power bar there, and you can see that I have speed selected and Kagami has power selected. Try them both out by all means. but I think you will discover, as I did, that speed is not necessarily more effective, but just way more fun than power. If you have power selected, then it unlocks another big powerful move that you can do, but if you have speed selected, then it means that you can link a lot of your moves, a lot of your basic moves, into combos and just perform these big 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hit, 13 hit combos. And who doesn't want to perform a 13 hit combo? I mean, seriously. For it is the 13 hit combos that ultimately bring you victory! Kansensori! Oh, it's a zombie dog. Look, he's got red eyes. Horrible zombie dog. Probably eating human flesh there. Remnants of the battlefield. So this is the penultimate boss, and as I chose Kojiro, I am fighting Mercuro at the Shrine of the Vanquished. The spark of the soul. Mercuro? No, Shikyo! That face. I know that face. So in The Last Blade 1, we have a character called Shikyo. And in The Last Blade 2, Shikyo appears as Mercuro, who is the zombie version of Shikyo, with a big bandage around his head like he's kind of blind. So why he transformed into a zombie I don't exactly know, but I am in favour of this decision. Shikyo in The Last Blade 1 was already quite an eccentric kind of fighter, and he suits zombieism pretty well. You know, and not many of us would, really. I don't think I'd suit zombieism very well. You know, maybe you would, I don't know. But I doubt it somehow. Really nice stage they gave him. I really like this stage. With the firefly souls and the electric vortex celestial body in the background. And I like how they zombified Shikyo into Mercuro. You know, with his full head bandage and his ripped clothes. It's awesome. So they're just going to have a little chat now. Is that his brother? Yeah, you killed my brother? Silly boy. Whoa! Yeah! Gua! To hell with you. Well, that was an informative discussion that they had there. Oh, here he is, Koryu. My name is Koryu, a messenger from Hades. To all those who possess life, know its meaning. To all those who know death, hear my words. Foolish mortals, know your ancient sin. Atone with your deaths, for I shall mark you. I shall mark you all with my vaguely immortal, slightly godlike, weird glowy powers of telekinetic, brightly coloured, fiery doom. Pardon me. Get a little bit excited sometimes. He ain't so bad, Kyoryu. He ain't such a bad guy, really. As far as SNK bosses go, he's not particularly overpowered or anything. You know, he's just a dude, really, you know, with a fancy hairdo and, you know, nice white trainers. And you can kill him and, you know, he doesn't do any unfair resurrecting spells or anything like that, but he doesn't fall down. That's a bit worrying, isn't it? It's a bit disconcerting. He should fall down properly. Just lay down and rest for a while. It's okay, I'll wait for you to get up. I'll wait for round 2. I could give you some backstory about this guy, you know, backstory. But do you care? Probably not. Doesn't really matter, does it? You know? He's some sensei of some other character in this game who died and then was resurrected as a demon version of himself. But it doesn't really matter, you know, because he's dead now. Kojiro showed him what's what with a massive sword. And Kojiro, there's nothing he can do. He's actually quite impressed. He's all like, well done. Gwoo. Gwoo. Those are his last words. Gwoo. That's what he went for. So here we go. Kojiro is now actually called Kaori. We've now like swapped around their surname and first name just to be even more confusing. We've got people just fading in and out of existence, just randomly talking to Kaori. She's probably a little bit insane actually. She has got some kind of personality disorder going on here. Some issues with self-identity. She's just decided to be a drag king for the rest of his life, which is it's fine. If you want to pose as a guy, if you want to go all Mulan on our ass with your massive sword and that, then feel free. That's fine by me. So now we have lots of names and roles of people that I can't read or understand. So there we go. Here's another team of people, and there's a dude called Tony as well who did something. I'm not sure what he did, but I'm sure it was very impressive. This guy Tony was in a league of his own right there. And then there's Pinky and Pinocchio. Let's not forget Pinocchio, not to be mistaken for Pinocchio or Pinocchio. Those are completely different people. There's a guy there who's called No with an exclamation mark. The exclamation mark is actually on his birth certificate in his as his first name. There's Take Pion, who's of course married to Give Pion. That's quite a mutually beneficial relationship that those guys share. And of course, who could forget Zed Hierapon and Now and Shiji and Masa, those crazy cats. There's Yasun and Kyo-chan and of course Zoe. Tonko, you don't want to get in his way. And now Q as well, he's pretty formidable. And of course there's the Hart family, very extensive family there of brothers and sisters. My favourite of course being Me Squared Hart. And of course we've got Shigeti, let's not forget Shigeti and his mates. And then we finish off with a lovely shot of the beautiful Hibuki, quite possibly my favourite fighting game character of all time. So here we go, this is what it looks like when you complete The Last Blade 2. I got a score of 1.5 million, something like that, because it's a Japanese game and you get 500,000 points for scratching your ass, as is quite standard. Unlike them British games where you have to slave away all day just to get like 3 points. It's kind of reflective of our currency in a way, isn't it? So here we are, this is the terribly high-tech bit that nobody really understands. It's a pity I'm about 16 years too late, but never mind. So I shall leave you with this lovely animated cinematic. Gives you a nice introduction to some of the characters and things that they like to do, like staring very seriously at the camera or hugging their sword, and so on and so forth. Oh, my hand moves so slowly. Okay, well thanks for watching. It has been The Last Blade 2. It has been Lewis Fitzjohn playing The Last Blade 2. I love you. See you next time. Goodbye.